coming to you live for the Build for Tough Studio. Boomer Esiason, Greg Giannotti. It's Boomer and Gio on the Fan. Simulcast across the country on CBS Sports Network. And wherever you are in the free Odyssey app, good Wednesday morning. The Knicks beat the Spurs. They win the Emirates NBA Cup last night. Yes, there was a celebration and a trophy and confetti and hats and shirts and all of that stuff. You know where we stand on it. It's not something that I hate, but it's not something that I think is all that important. Although what I think is great is the fact that they're on a winning streak. They're beating good teams. They played great last night. They had a fourth quarter that felt like a team that is headed towards really good things, closing out another good team. So all those things are positive, and I feel like Mike Brown has got this team exactly where he wants them at this point in the season. So all that's good. But no, we're not going to sit here and buy the NBA Cup hats and shirts, that's for sure. But this was a really good night for the Knicks. Unfortunately, your Rangers get shut out again at home, and I heard you right before we came on the air, and you sound terrible. So this is going to be an interesting couple of hours here, but I know that you're someone that loves a cupcake, and there was a cupcake waiting for you this morning. So we might have to eat one of those before 6:20. Good morning, Boomer. How are you?
Yeah, all right. I'm doing okay. I'm fine. I mean, I got a little bit of a head cold, and I can fight through it. It's no big deal. And
I heard you hacking in your office.
Yeah, I know. I was sneezing and coughing. Yeah, of course. But I'll be all right. That's fine. And, I stayed up and I watched the NBA Cup because the Rangers made me throw up, almost gave me the norovirus watching them again not score any goals at home.
Don't say it three times in a row. We might
I know. And you want to talk about a GM that's coming under fire. The GM is Chris Drury of the New York Rangers. You know, this is ridiculous. This has gotten to a point where I think a lot of Ranger fans are extremely, extremely frustrated and pissed off, and I being one of them as well. You expect better from players like this, especially with the reputations they have. But that's for later on. We can talk about that later on. But at the Knick thing last night, here's the important thing about it. Guys that came off the bench, I mean, Mitchell Robinson had 15 rebounds last night, and it felt like every time there was a missed shot on the offensive end of the glass, he was there, and he kept possessions going. And the other thing is, and we all know where the game changed, is when Jordan Clarkson came in and hit 2 3-pointers. Yep. And what I do really love about this whole thing is that this is a very likable team. I don't care what anybody, this is a really likable team. They do play well. They play well together. And Jalen Brunson, after the game's over, he's given all the credit to OG and to Mitchell Robinson and to Tyler Kolek and Jordan Clarkson. I mean, because those are the guys that really helped the fourth quarter turnaround. And there's something to be said about winning a game that way and then seeing the players react the way they did.
Yeah, I mean, and they stuff like this, I feel like
that was competitive last night.
Yeah, no, of course it was, and they wanted to win. Both teams really wanted to win in a regular season game that wouldn't normally have mattered, and that's kind of the whole point of this NBA Cup. But yeah, I mean, the camaraderie is there, no doubt. I mean, it's deep, of course, with Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart and some of the guys that have been here, and I feel like they are closer now than ever. And yeah, all the guys that he mentioned last night, Jalen Brunson, 100% he had to mention. But I also think that and I've been as critical of this guy as anybody in New York sports, but I think that the Spurs really tried to exploit Karl-Anthony Towns last night, and he didn't really let it happen. Like, I know he didn't have a great line, and he wasn't one of the guys that you'd look at the end of this thing and say, man, like, they wouldn't have won without Karl-Anthony Towns. But if you look deeper than just the box score last night, I really felt like the Spurs were saying, hey, Karl-Anthony Towns is a liability on the defensive end. We're going to frustrate him. We're going to get him back on his heels, and we're going to dominate in that way. And he didn't let that happen. He had one little hiccup with a offensive foul and another bad foul on the other end, but then that was really it. And I was proud of him that when they were attacking him, he didn't fold. So, yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of really good things that you like. And, and by the way, right now, this is the vision that Mike Brown and Leon Rose had when Mike Brown came in here. Now, I know that Mike Brown wasn't the first choice, but once they settled on him, this is what they were looking for, was this: more efficiency on offense, a little bit better defense, using the bench more, going out there and getting guys like Jordan Clarkson to help out that bench and beating the best teams in the NBA. Yeah, right now, it feels great.
I have to say that, I found myself really wanting them to win. I know the cup thing and the banner thing and all this other crap is for another day, but I have to say I was watching this last night. And I felt really good after the game was over. Like, wow, these guys really, put their effort into it, and the bench got involved. And, it was very satisfying, just like it was last year beating the Celtics in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Very satisfying. And to see them play the way they're playing and to know that Brunson didn't have his best game last night. I mean, this was probably, if you gave Brunson a B for last night's performance as opposed to some of the A-pluses we've given him.
Sure.
And the support off the bench, I mean, God, that's exactly what you want. I mean, I don't know. Normally we come in here and, like, I started the show with a negative about the Rangers, but this is the team now that we all have to rally behind if we want to have some good feelings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, this is, you expect them to be in the Eastern Conference Final again. I mean, and obviously all of this is the caveat of staying as healthy as possible, which is another thing that reminds me I have to talk about. But with Karl-Anthony Towns, but you expect them to be back in the Eastern Conference Finals. Obviously, the Pistons have had a great year. They got a better record than the Knicks by a couple games right now, but still, you would feel like the Knicks have been there. They beat the Pistons last year. They've got more experience. And, going to the NBA Finals was the goal. Rick Pitino said it on our airwaves right after Tibbs was fired and Mike Brown was hired, that this will be the most pressure that a Knicks head coach has ever had in the history of the organization, because in year one, he has to take them to the NBA Finals. So you feel like they're in a great spot to do that, and it should be a great winter and spring for them. But, of course, we see this again now. He leaves the game for a little bit and comes back. But Karl-Anthony Towns left because of more calf tightness and then came back in. So we've seen, how many times have we seen this in the NBA with the calf? No. And whether you love Cat, hate him, think he should be traded or not, this guy goes down with an Achilles injury, then forget about all of it.
You're screwed, right?
So that just manage that thing, and they should know. I mean, I'm sitting here talking about it. The trainers should know. These guys should know. It's just there's been such a rash of these things that we have seen for other teams, especially in the Eastern Conference, with the Celtics and the Pacers that have opened the door up for the Knicks this year. You don't want them to now open the door up for another team because they lost their guy because they didn't manage this calf thing, and it also turned into an Achilles. Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not popping of an Achilles.
Yeah, we got a long way to go, that's for sure. And, again, I think what the NBA wanted to get out of this cup play thing, at least they got it in these last two games. Like, you could see it in the semifinal games, that they were really, going after each other. And last night I felt the same way. I felt like, it was a really just back-and-forth game. It was a little frustrating in the third quarter when the Knicks were falling behind. And then all of a sudden, the most unlikely of characters come off the bench, and the next thing you know, the whole game gets turned on its head.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. I mean, I didn't know what I was watching. I'm like, wow, the guys are coming off the bench hitting threes. What do you know?
Well,
playing defense. And by the way, Mitchell Robinson, you can say whatever you want about Wembanyama. I mean, he is a stick. I don't know how he's going to make it. He's got to put on like another 20 pounds or something.
Yeah, well, I think he will. I mean, he's certainly gotten bigger since his rookie year.
You could just push him right out of the way, though.
Yeah, I mean, but still, I mean, the guy is he in another year or two, he might be absolutely unstoppable. I mean, he came into the league at 18 years old. So I think right now, yes, you can still push him around. And Mitchell Robinson handled him great. And I was reminded that they brought up the first ever game that he had at the Garden. Mitchell Robinson, it was like, oh, here comes Victor Wembanyama to the Garden. And Mitchell Robinson sort of muted him in that game too. So, he does it again in this game. And then, Mitch being healthy and doing what he did like last night is just so critical to his team. And I had it with him because he was never around.
He's always hurt, yeah.
But he came back and was so dominant and so good for them in the postseason last year that I think he proved to everybody, the fan base and the front office and everybody else, that he needs to be here, that they need him to win a championship. And in a game like this, and a performance like that, I mean, it proves that point.
Well, he does all the dirty work.
Yeah.
I mean, and he can run with the team. He can keep up with the players, but he does all the dirty work. He's the guy. He's not about scoring a ton of points. He's about getting rebounds and playing defense. And, that is so vital, especially against a guy like Wembanyama. So anybody that they have that they're going to be going against that's going to have some size in there, he's a beast. He's one of the better defenders at his size in the league. So I don't know, man. I had a source of pride last night. I don't know if that was weird or not.
No, it's not weird at all.
I was really pissed off because the Rangers got shut out again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this team, where's the Hart? What are we doing? And I just keep hearing the same crap after every game. But anyway, the Knicks thing, though, was like a really, like, a genuinely, like, into it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing that we turn to the Knicks for pride and winning and happiness.
Thank God.
Right? I mean, how many years have we said that they were the worst of the worst, and now that's the team we turn to say, hey, I'm proud of that group. They're likable. They're playing hard. They've got everything. Now, can they make it out of the East and healthy and then go and beat the Oklahoma City Thunder? We'll find out. But, I mean, this is the closest they've been to a championship team in a very long time. So,
I think the Spurs thought that this was going to be a walkover because they beat OKC. I kind of, I was reading some of the Spurs stuff going into it, and they were so, like, they felt like they had won it because they beat OKC, because OKC has been so good this year and so dominating. And it's, you win one game and you're going to the finals. It's like the, it's like
NCAA
March Madness.
tournament, yeah.
It's like March Madness. So I just felt like they thought this was going to be like, we got this.
Yeah, and there's a camaraderie on this team that I think is amazing, and not every team has. And the fact that it's led by Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. And I don't know if you saw this last night, but it was very funny. So, and if you followed it on X later on, and this happened, late at night, so I saw it this morning. But as they're celebrating, Josh Hart does the oil check on Jalen Brunson.
Oh, he does? Okay.
So they're celebrating. You should see this video, right? So, like, Jalen Brunson's got his back turned, and they, like, have the cup up in the air.
Yeah.
And then Josh Hart goes behind him with the thumb.
Yeah.
And then right into the tuchus, like Pat Boyle told us about the oil check. And then Jalen Brunson turns around like, what the hell, right? So then Josh Hart, he sees that everybody's posting this. And he writes first, he goes, damn, in 4K and everything. And then after that, he goes, it was AI, which it clearly wasn't, which is just what people will say when they're caught doing things that they don't want to do.
Right.
But it clearly wasn't. It was the video. So that's something. See, you're laughing about it, right?
Yes.
Because you've been in locker rooms.
Yeah, those guys are at each other's throat all the time. And I just think that Josh Hart is like, he just torments Brunson. He's just tormenting him all the time.
Yeah, I mean, in a way that they love. Like, it's just one of those good-natured ball-busting things. I mean, we all have a buddy or two like that no matter what you say about each other, it never crosses the line because you know that it's all good-intended stuff. So after I see this, and then, I was reminded of this video that I sent you not that long ago that has to do with these, like, kind of odd male rituals in locker rooms that keep teams together. Now, this is not going to make sense to a lot of people. It's probably going to make sense to you. I mean, I spent 5 years playing football with meatheads. You spent 25 years, whatever. But in this video, and then here's me weaving hockey into this conversation, but this video that I'm watching.
But it's golf and hockey.
It's a video I'm watching, and then has to do with the Knicks. So Paul Bissonnette is talking about the things that he used to do. As he was a meathead hockey player, as people don't know, and he's also on broadcast now doing studio work.
He also does Spit and Chicklets.
So it's a video at Spit and Chicklets. So it's Ryan Whitney. And it's Keith Yandel in the Wind.
Yandel in the Wind,
And it's Bissonnette. And they're actually playing with Paige Sporanic, so it makes it even more awkward that he's talking about these things.
Yes.
So he's talking about some of the things that they did, like camaraderie things that they did on the teams that won the most. And one of them was a pee bomb that he would do.
Yeah. And
that had to do with what he would call his forzy.
Yes,
you could kind of figure it out, maybe. I don't want to go too in-depth with that, but
just go find it on X.
Right. And then also he talked about a mangina was a thing that he talked about that they did.
Saw many of those.
And then also a helicopter male chicken.
Yes, saw plenty of those too.
Yeah, so these are the things that they would do, and then
we're children.
Yeah, right. But here, I'll get to a point. And he also said that during that year where they had the most success, if he was a healthy scratch or just a scratch, he would wear a suit up in the press box, but he'd take that suit off and then go shower with his teammates afterward because of the camaraderie.
Yes.
And they felt like that type of stuff is what made them so tight and then having a great season that they had. So when I see this oil check from Josh Hart to Jalen Brunson, I immediately thought, like, these guys, I mean, they're as tight as humans can be in wearing the same uniform.
They're connected.
And even though it's really weird that it's a thumb and a butt, like, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, but it is a good thing. They're connected. The team is connected.
Yeah.
Like, so when you see winning teams and they have those championship wins at their back, the juice at their back, if you will, going to the game the other night against Anaheim and sitting there, and Gunnar looks at me and goes, damn, man, Rangers have no juice. There's nothing. Who are we cheering for? I'm like, well, I don't know, Panarin, I guess, or JT Miller. We're supposed to be cheering for those guys. Zibanejad is benched. I have no idea. Yeah, it's just, I mean, but there's just no, they're not connected. It's a weird thing. Maybe on the road they become connected, but this team is basically so middling. It's frustrating. And the fact that, so they play Anaheim, they score one goal, and the goal was almost taken away because it looked like Vincent Trocheck hit it with a high stick, but he didn't. And, we're in the middle of celebrating the goal, and they got to stop it because they got to review it. We can't even score. I mean, I can't even, celebrate the goal. But the thing about it is Anaheim goes on the road to Columbus the next game. They give up 4 goals. Vancouver shuts out the Rangers. I don't know who they're playing next. They're going to give up 5 goals the next game because whoever they're playing, either they're going to play down or they realize that when they go into the Garden, they got the Rangers on the ropes as soon as the puck is dropped because the fan base is really uneasy about this team and the way this team is played in front of the home fans. And they're disconnected. They are not connected, and things are not going right for them. And, of course, losing Adam Fox, to the power play, which took us all the way to the President's Trophy just a few years back, is now a complete disaster.
Do you think Mike Sullivan would stand in front of the team and say, listen, guys, we need P-bombs, we need manchinas, and we need helicopter payments?
Just so you guys understand this, I tried to do this with you guys when we first started. We had the softball team. We played at Yankee Stadium. We
weren't doing mangina.
No, but I was trying to get you guys to be in the locker room and everything, but none of you wanted to get naked. You guys just didn't want to get naked. You're like, I'm not getting naked. Remember that, Al? You wouldn't get naked.
Yeah, I bailed when I'm like, these are guys I work with. They're nude now. See ya.
I was going to give you a helicopter. And you didn't want any part of it.
Oh, my God. You would have done the helicopter?
Yes.
Oh, man.
I mean, how many manchinas have you seen?
Well, yeah, a couple.
I mean, you had to see a bunch in high school.
No, of course. Yeah, I mean, that's that's a staple.
That's idiocy in the locker room is part of the whole thing that we always say when we retire, we miss. You miss those moments. I had a guy. Oh, my God, it was so hilarious. Oh, how do I explain this?
Is this the guy that pulled his balls to the floor?
Yes.
Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, you did tell that once before. Yeah,
I did. Okay.
Yeah, he stretched it out like it was
all the way from like a
taffy.
Like I'm sitting in our stools in front of our lockers. And back when I played for the Bengals, we practiced at Spinney Field, and Spinney Field was more like a dog kennel.
Yeah.
Like we had wire fencing as lockers, whatever. But it kind of brought us together. You know what I'm saying? It was a weird thing. But yeah, this guy, offensive lineman, would go, hey, he pulls his scrotum all the way down to the floor. I'm like, what are you doing?
What'd you do that season?
We won. I think we went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. Bingo. This is what I'm talking about. So when you see that oil check with Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson, we're on to something here.
And then if you got a guy that's got a huge member, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
That guy's walking around like...
Mm-hmm. The cock of the walk,
there
as
you
they
go.
say.
That's exactly
I'm
right.
Boomer Esiason.
No.
Yeah, well, with us, he is very impressive. In the football locker room, he's probably in, the second tier.
Second tier, yeah, okay.
I would imagine.
Oh, well...
You go into one of those football locker rooms, it changes your entire perspective on life.
Yeah, you've been in there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the 2010 Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's want to talk about that. Yeah. I mean, the team that went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Again, another team that probably was so connected.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
And despite, the strange ones on the team, the teams that you're not really sure you can count on all the time, even those guys are connected.
Yeah.
And even those guys learn as the season goes on, don't be late, don't be late, don't be late, don't be late, don't be late. You got to be here. You got to be at practice. It's really funny when you're winning how all of that stuff really comes to the forefront. I'm sure that's where the Knicks are right now.
So me and you have been naked in the same place. Due process.
Yeah.
I've been naked in Jerry's home taking a shower.
Yeah.
But other than that, I've got no other naked colleague stories.
Well,
Guys, anybody?
I try to get these guys in the locker room, but they just.
Anybody naked?
Yeah,
Well,
I've never.
I took a shower at your house.
Yeah, okay. So you were naked in my old home. Yes, okay.
Yeah,
but that
right.
counts. That counts. All right.
Actually, I took a shower in Boomer shower, the one with the really powerful head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good shower.
Yeah,
Years ago,
okay.
yeah.
Sure,
All right.
almost
So that's the
blew you.
closest you got. So you were naked in Boomer's home.
Yes.
That counts.
Yeah, it does count, but I didn't see him naked.
Okay, but he was there. It's
I
close
wasn't,
enough.
I wasn't trying to look to see if he was naked.
Yeah. No, we were.
I was just trying to do that in the locker room, especially like with all those guys. It was at Yankee Stadium. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. And then Craig was getting naked. I was like, all right, time to go.
All right, that's enough.
All right, gotta go.
All right, Boomer and Gio on the Fan and CBS Sports Network. Got Jerry joining us just a couple of minutes.